Kevin Federline, the dancer-turned-DJ whose brief but tumultuous marriage to Britney Spears defined a chaotic chapter in early 2000s pop culture, has unleashed a harrowing anecdote in his debut tell-all memoir, You Thought You Knew. At 47, Federline pulls no punches, portraying the toxic singer as neglectful in her nascent role as a mother during their union from 2004 to 2007, with a late-night phone call serving as the detonating final straw that shattered any illusions of reconciliation. This revelation, raw and unflinching, reignites debates about Spears' conservatorship-era vulnerabilities, framing her party girl excesses as a detriment to their shared parenthood of sons Preston and Jayden. The memoir's core bombshell unfolds like a midnight thriller. Federline, ensconced in Miami for professional obligations, receives an unexpected call that yanks him from focus into frenzy. "I was in Miami for work, trying to stay focused on my commitments, and I got a call," he recounts, the prose taut with suppressed rage. On the line, Spears, flanked by tabloid darlings Paris Hilton and Lindsay Lohan, all three inebriated and imploring him to join their revelry. The hour, 3 or 4 in the morning, amplifies the recklessness, a time when most parents are soothing nightmares, not chasing highs. What elevates this from anecdote to indictment is the auditory backdrop, the unmistakable wails of Preston and Jayden piercing the revelers' slurred pleas. "It was her, Paris Hilton and Lindsay Lohan on the line, drunk as hell, begging me to come over," Federline details, his words evoking a scene straight from the era's paparazzi-fueled frenzy. Hilton and Lohan's presence isn't incidental. They symbolize the vortex of celebrity hedonism that ensnared Spears' post in the Zone, when her "baby one more time" innocence morphed into provocative reinvention. Federline posits this trio as emblematic of Spears' prioritization, glamour over guardianship, convincing him that motherhood's mantle weighed too heavily amid the haze. "I could hear Preston and Jayden crying in the background. It had to be 3 or 4 in the morning. That call was the final straw," he continues, the ellipsis of void filled with paternal anguish. This wasn't an isolated lapse. Federline underscores a pattern of abdicated responsibility, instances where Spears' spotlight pursuits eclipsed diaper changes and bedtime stories. "The cries," he insists, were the clarion call to end it. "Hearing my kids crying while she was doing God knows what? That was it." The vagueness of "God knows what" invites speculation, fueled by contemporaneous headlines of clubbing sprees and head-shaving defiance. But Federline's focus remains laser-sharp on the fallout for their boys, then toddlers navigating their parents' unraveling. He elaborates that this incident extinguished the sliver of hope for salvaging their union for the kids, a pragmatic plea amid irreconcilable rifts. Federline's narrative casts Spears not as villain but as victim of her own orbit, fame's gravitational pull distorting domestic duties. Their 2004 wedding, a shotgun affair amid Spears' career zenith, promised fairy-tale normalcy but delivered tabloid turmoil, custody skirmishes, leaked tapes, a 2007 divorce sealed with Federline gaining primary custody. The memoir reframes this as inevitable, the phone call a pivot from potential to partition. Contextualizing this within Spears' saga adds tragic depth. Post-divorce, her 2007 to 2008 breakdown, umbrella-wielding meltdowns, shaved head symbolism, led to the conservatorship that stripped her autonomy for 13 years, a saga chronicled in her 2023 memoir The Woman in Me. Federline, who largely stayed silent save for occasional Instagram jabs, now amplifies his side, potentially stoking fresh controversy. Critics may decry it as opportunistic, capitalizing on #FreeBritney's embers, but Federline positions it as catharsis, a father's duty to document dysfunction for his son's edification. Preston and Jayden, now young adults, have navigated this legacy with caution. Sporadic appearances in Spears' posts, a 2022 reconciliation that thawed estrangement. Federline's book, however, risks rekindling fractures, portraying Spears' early parenting as performative rather than profound. He concedes her love but questions its execution amid the era's excesses. K-Fed's backup dancer gigs clashing with Spears' tour demands, a household where nannies bridged gaps left by globetrotting. Broader, this excerpt spotlights celebrity motherhood's minefield, privacy's erosion, judgment's deluge. Spears, icon of empowerment anthems like Stronger, grappled with postpartum pressures amplified by scrutiny, her 2005 to 2006 births coinciding with album cycles that demanded invincibility. Federline's account humanizes the headlines, but at what cost? As You Thought You Knew hits shelves, it invites dissection. Is this vindication or vendetta? For Spears stands, its salt and conservatorship scars. For neutral observers, a window into fame's familial toll. Federline's voice, once overshadowed, now narrates nuance, regret for the marriage's mess, resolve in raising resilient sons. Yet, the bombshell lingers as a requiem for what might have been, a late-night echo reminding that in pop's bright lights, shadows cast long over legacies.